Here at Squiz Kids, you probably know that we're on something of a media literacy crusade. Our Newshounds classroom resource teaches kids how to think critically about the flood of information they're exposed to each day online. It teaches them how to spot misinformation and separate online fact from fiction. Since launch, more than 4,000 primary school teachers around the country have signed up to do Newshounds with their classes. Because it's free, because it's fun, because it's curriculum aligned, and because it works. But unless we get government funding to continue Newshounds, we may have to shut it down. With the federal election looming, we need your help. If you think digital and media literacy is an important life skill our kids should be learning at school, sign our petition at change.org. The link is in the episode notes, or you can find it on our website squizkids.com.au. Send a message to Canberra. Help us help the next generation.
Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Wednesday, March 19. In Squiz Kids Today, Astronaut rescue mission underway. Iguanas raft to Fiji. The world's longest church build, and dachshunds break a record. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
As the podcast goes to air this morning, in the sky above our heads, a most remarkable rescue mission is underway. I'm talking about the return to Earth of astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, who went up into space last June and had intended to only spend 8 days aboard the International Space Station, but 8 days accidentally turned into 9 months. Yep, for 8 months and 28 days longer than they had planned, the pair have been spinning around in orbit above the Earth in the International Space Station, which is like a great big science lab in the sky, 400 kilometres above our heads. The pair got stuck there after their spacecraft had some technical issues, so kind of like a car breaking down, but 400 kilometres in the sky, and where there's no oxygen and only the vastness of space behind you. So you know, it's a bit of a thing. But they're in a brand new spacecraft as we speak, and now as we go to air, the pair will be preparing to turn that spacecraft in the direction of home and break through Earth's atmosphere in a fiery ball, whereupon a couple of parachutes will deploy at about 18,000 feet above ground level, and they will hopefully float gently down to land in the ocean just off the coast of Florida at around 8 a.m. this morning. Imagine stepping out onto solid ground with gravity holding you in place for the first time in 9 months after floating all of that time in zero gravity. Astronauts who have done it say their legs are like jelly for days.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Spain, in the city of Barcelona to be specific, where builders are busy working on the construction of a church called the Sagrada Familia. A church that was started being built 143 years ago. And the reason we've dropped in here today is because today marks the anniversary of when the first stone was laid in the construction of the church. Now, you might be thinking, whoa, 143 years to build a church. Why is it taking them so long? Well, there's a bunch of reasons, including running out of money, the small matter of a civil war, and the fact that the design by Spanish artist Antonio Gaudí is really, really complex. But all going well, it could all finally be finished next year. So make sure you add it to your must-see list for your next trip to Spain.
Animal Kingdom.
And so to Fiji we go. The swaying palms, the golden beaches, the glorious coral reefs, and the iguanas. Wait, what? Iguanas? I thought iguanas only lived in South America. How did they get to Fiji? It's been one of the great mysteries among zoologists for decades. The distance across the Pacific Ocean from South America to Fiji is so vast, they could never work out how iguanas managed the trip. But now there's evidence that the clever little reptiles undertook what is believed to be the longest journey ever undertaken by an animal aboard makeshift rafts of uprooted trees and clumped together vegetation, which they also used for food during the 8,000-kilometre journey. So clever. But that's a long trip eating the same leaves. Surely they could have just taken a plane like the rest of us.
Biggest, furthest, longest.
Ah, yes, this is the segment where we mark the breaking of records. And today we're in Germany, where a new Guinness World Record has been set for the number of dachshunds parading through a town together. Because, yes, there's apparently a record for everything. The German town of Regensburg played host to this sausage dog extravaganza on the weekend, during which some 897 dachshunds took part in the so-called Dackelparade. Organisers reckon the number was closer to 1,200 dachshunds, but the Guinness people could only count 897. Mind you, they're pretty small dogs. I suppose it would be easy enough to miss a couple.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. In which country is the famous Sagrada Familia Church, which has taken 143 years to build? Yes, that's right, it's in Spain. Question number 2. In which country did a big parade of dachshunds just take place? Well done if you said Germany. Question number 3. Name the reptile that scientists believe rode a makeshift raft across the Pacific Ocean to settle in Fiji. Yes, that's right, it's iguana.
Shout-outs.
It's Wednesday, March 19. Today is International Read to Me Day. A day for kids to remind their parents and guardians just how important it is to have books read to them on a regular basis. Because books, my friends, are the best. Today is also a special day for these Squiz kids celebrating a birthday today. Pippa from Clovelly Park, Anthea from The Rock, Arthur from Chinchilla, Ida from Middletown Grange, Zoe from Hobart, Eloise from Westbury, Imet from Bundaberg, and Zaylee from Coolum Beach. And belated birthday shout-outs go to James from Tasmania, Eli from Maudslin, Anissa from Mansfield, Maeve from Croydon, George from Munopara, and Justin from Sunnybank. And classroom shout-outs today go to classes Buru 2, 3 and 4 with Ms Ingold, Mr Bulmer and Ms Schmitzer at Googong Public School. Class 1 Guddy with Ms Williams at St Andrew's Cathedral School in Sydney. Class 24 with Mr Knight at Parkview Parua School in New Zealand. Class 5 6D with Miss Challenor at Springwood Road State School. And Class 4T with Mrs Thompson at Singleton Heights Public School. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.